Baseball seems to be a simple contest played with a ball and a bat. But for anyone who's ever donned a uniform, baseball can be a game as complex as life itself. Some say it's the closest reflection to the human experience in sports. You're with possibility and an opportunity for redemption in every inning. Today, these young athletes will take the field at Champion Stadium, knowing that leads are perishable and everything can change with each pitch. You're watching the USSSA All-American Game on ESPN. And welcome, everyone, to the spectacular ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex, Champion Stadium. Host today for the USSSA All-American Games, and we have a fantastic day of baseball coming up here at the Wide World of Sports. First game first, it's the Midwest taking on the Great Lakes, and we are looking forward to the Northwest and the Atlantic, as well as the Atlantic and the Northwest, all getting into the action today. As we take a look at pool play, well, it's in use today. Northwest perfect, 3-0. Atlantic also coming in undefeated thus far in the tournament. And we welcome you inside to Champion Stadium, everybody. Kevin Gork and Mike LaValliere with you. If you watched day one of our coverage here on ESPN, you saw lots of offensive baseball, and we expect to have a little bit more even today, Mike, as we look forward to the first matchup of the day.
Well, in today's matchup, you look at Northwest, and they were absolutely dominant in pool play. They outscored their opponents 35-7, and I tell you what, they would just say, in this ball game, though, we got Atlantic, who's won 2 close games. If this one's a close one, I like to think that they have the advantage.
Well, they're battle-tested, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Northwest with so much offensive firepower, can they keep it going? We'll find out together as we take a look at the rules of the contest coming up for you today here on ESPN. The contests are 6 innings long, no time limit whatsoever. Continuous batting. Each player will play at least 2 innings defensively. Here are the field dimensions for this contest among the 10-year-olds. 46 feet from mound to the plate, 65 feet between the base paths, and the pitchers are restricted to, count them, 4 innings for the entire tournament. That is a 4-game span. Quick timeout before we get to the action here on ESPN. Coming up, Northwest and Atlantic, the first of a triple header here on ESPN 3.
The peak of Expedition Everest can be seen from just about everywhere around Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. It calls the brave to challenge high-altitude hairpin turns and puts you face-to-face with the snarling beast who guards the mountain, the legendary Yeti. The ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex is one of the most exciting youth baseball complexes in America, where players of all ages compete against both national and international rivals. Athletes can hone their skills year-round through open registration tournaments and spring training programs for high school and college teams on major league quality fields while creating memories that last a lifetime. To find out how your team can play here, visit DisneyBaseball.com. Disney soccer tournaments sponsored by AS Roma provide athletes of all ages the opportunity to compete against athletes from across the U.S. and around the world. From 3-on-3 youth tournaments to elite showcase events with hundreds of college recruiters present, the ESPN Wide World of Sports soccer program offers something for everyone. To find out how you can play here, visit DisneySoccer.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Coming up here on ESPN 3, it's Northwest taking on Atlantic. It's the 10U championship in the USSSA All-American Games. Weather today, 79 degrees. Humidity, a rather nice 100% there, Michael.
Yeah, I tell you what, walking in to the Champion Stadium today, it didn't take much to get loose. Yeah, we've got some weather around the area, but according to my own personal barometers, my knees, they aren't hurting quite nearly enough. I think we've got a full day of baseball with no delays at all. I'm making the call. I am the weatherman today.
Who needs AccuWeather when you have the knees of Mike LaValliere? I love that. We're looking forward to the contest here as we continue our coverage of the All-American Games here on ESPN. Champion Stadium abuzz with activity from a very early point this morning, and we will have games all day long as we present a triple header of action. Northwest taking on Atlantic first, then we have the Midwest taking on the Great Lakes, and then we wrap it all up with the largest group here of the day, the 14Us, Atlantic and Northwest, going after it at 1 o'clock here on ESPN. I should point out a couple things yesterday, Mike, as we sort of get ready for the action here today. I said that we had lots of offensive baseball. A lot of small ball I noticed yesterday, very aggressive on the base paths. Should we expect more of the same this morning?
Yeah, especially with the younger kids. The teams all play open bases, and that's rather unique. Regular Little League, ball has to go across the hitter before the runners can take off. Here we'll see young players. They're able to lead off. They're able to steal as soon as that pitcher moves. So to me, this is like real baseball. This is, this, to me, you're learning how to play. If you have any intention of going to the next level, you're learning your skills right now. Why have to relearn things when you become 13 years old? Here you've got the 9s, the 10s. They're able to, again, we saw yesterday, stealing is a big part of the game. It's a big part of the offense. At 10 years old, it's a little tough for that catcher to get all the way down to second base. So advantage to the runners. As the kids get a little older, they get a little stronger. Arms are a little stronger, and that's not quite as prevalent as, again, at this younger age.
And we are ready for action here, Mike, as we welcome the teams. The Atlantic sporting the red, white, and blue, very familiar. And there's our pitcher to get them started out of the Florida Battalion, St. Petersburg, Florida. Ryan Lowe will get the ball first. And if you haven't had a chance to watch USSSA baseball previously, I think you'll be fairly impressed with the mechanics and with the determination that you'll see out of these young athletes as they get out there on the field here today. But taking on a team from the Northwest, and you mentioned it, Mike, 37 to 5, the count offensively. When you know you're taking on a team that can light up a scoreboard, what's the first bit of advice you give to a young pitcher like Ryan Lowe?
Well, number one is I'm going to say, hey, Ryan, go out there, have fun. Trust your stuff. You've got guys behind you that can play good defense. Everybody that we see today is an all-star. So, this isn't like, somebody that might be a little weaker out there. No, you're full of all-stars on your defense. Go out there, get the ball over the plate, and take your chances.
And let your defense support you.
Absolutely,
I've
absolutely.
heard you say that a lot, and that is so important because sometimes you just squeeze that baseball a little bit too tight when you think it's all on your shoulders. And as Mike has pointed out repeatedly, just trust your instincts, trust your stuff, and trust the guys behind you. After all, they're all very good young athletes as well.
Absolutely. We'll see today as we get our shot from the center field camera. We use a portable mound. We've got 3 different distances for the pitchers. These 10-year-olds will throw from 46 feet. Our 12s will throw from 50 feet. And we'll move the 14s back to the regulation 60 feet, 6 inches that we see in baseball.
Yes.
In Major League Baseball.
There's the portable fence that Mike was referencing. And we are underway here at the All-American Games. USSSA, our first contest of the day. Northwest taking on Atlantic. Kai Francis, Bainbridge Island, Washington. Boy, I love Seattle. What a beautiful part of the country. Playing there from the evergreen state of Washington. Gets underneath that one, catcher ranging over and making a little snow cone catch. How about that play to get us started here? 1 away.
Well, Mason Hex, what a nice job, young man. Takes control. And the one thing that I really like about it, he did not panic. Ball went up, he found it, left his mask right by home plate. He knew the ball wasn't going to be there. Went over, called it. Hey, this is all mine, guys. I got the first one.
Gotta love that. That'll bring up Julius Martinez. Azalea, California, plays with the Diamond Dogs. Of course, we've talked a great deal about the strength of the Golden State talent, especially for the youngsters out there. So much great talent, not just at the youth level, but obviously high school, CIF, and collegiately and professionally as well. Swing and a miss by Martinez, 1-1.
Ryan Lowe showing nice velocity on the fastball here, a little above the belt. That's by him right there. That's a very nice pitch. Look, they had a little extra movement on it too. These are the kinds of things as a coach I look for. It's not only velocity, it's location and it's ball movement on the fastball. That's really what makes these kids effective.
Martinez chopped to short. Out, 2 down. So quickly, 2 up and 2 erased for Ryan Lowe.
Yeah, I love it. You've got Salvador Alvarez, the shortstop, making what's a routine play. And you see that. Maybe not in your rec league back home where every ball's a little bit of an adventure. Here we get a bunch of all-stars out there, so you kind of get accustomed to it. Hey, you know what? Ground ball, yeah, he's going to make the play.
Isn't that fun?
And believe me, as a catcher, and you see that ground ball, you worked hard for it, that infield boots it, and it's kind of like, oh, man.
Boy, Ryan is trying to figure out how that was not a strike. I think maybe a little high, maybe?
Well, it had to have been high. We've got a little offset of our center field camera, so it's not always what you see is what you, what is actually what takes place. But, yeah, I'd just say perhaps the home plate umpire didn't get that right arm loosened up enough this morning. Hey, raise that right hand. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. Comes right back.
I love getting umpires into strike mode. There's nothing worse than you get an umpire back there and say, hey, look, you know, I get a little Bengay. You need some help with that shoulder? Hey, let's raise that arm. Let's get this game moving.
Flex all that other
Exactly.
stuff, right?
You know, and that's where, you know, for me, you know, an umpire makes or breaks a game. I like umpires to call strikes early. I think it makes a better game. It gets the hitters up there swinging. The coaches are saying, hey, look, you know what? Umpires call a lot of strikes. Hey, go up there, swing the bat. You swing the bat, good things happen. So for me, hey, I'm all about that.
Gotta love that. 2-2 count, Mike, with 2 away for Ryan Doherty. Making Ryan Lowe work just a little bit. The 2-2. Got him. Throw down to first, and that will end the inning. So 3 up and 3 down, including a strikeout for Ryan Lowe. We're coming back with the Atlantic heading to the plate. This is ESPN's coverage of USSSA All-American Game action.
Ride like
Great
a rock
start,
star
Brian.
at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Buckle up and hit 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds on Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. You will take off in a convertible stretch limo through the streets of LA, through loops, corkscrews, and more to get you to the concert on time. This exciting ride in the dark will leave you cheering for an encore. Disney soccer tournaments sponsored by AS Roma provide athletes of all ages the opportunity to compete against athletes from across the U.S. and around the world. From 3-on-3 youth tournaments to elite showcase events with hundreds of college recruiters present, the ESPN Wide World of Sports soccer program offers something for everyone. To find out how you can play here, visit DisneySoccer.com.
Welcome back to Champion Stadium, everybody, as ESPN's coverage of the USSSA All-American Games continues. The 10U Championship, Northwest taking on Atlantic, bottom of the first inning of play. Kevin Cork and Mike LaValliere with you. That is Carson Crawford. He will get the ball first for Northwest out of Rohnert Park, California. Plays for the North Bay Redbirds, trying to solve this otherwise talented Atlantic crew. See how well they do. They will send Romero, Cueto, and Stewart to the plate here in the bottom of the first inning. How surprised were you, Mike, that Northwest was pretty much shut down there at the top of the first by Ryan Lowe?
Well, you know what? You look at just numbers, and we all know that numbers sometimes don't tell the entire story. You know, maybe a little bit easier brackets that they played in, but whenever it comes down to it, I like my chances if I've got a team from the Atlantic area. I mean, you got Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, teams where kids play year-round.
Yeah.
I hate to discount them right off the get-go. For me, that adds a couple extra points to it. You've had 2 run rule games for Northwest, so now if they get tested, I like to think that the Atlantic, really, I think if it's close, the Atlantic probably has the advantage. Even though, like I said, for all intents and purposes, it was 2 run rules, and then they won by 7 runs.
Yeah.
For Northwest. So, it's been pretty much a cakewalk up until now.
Romero stepping up. Adrian's first trip to the plate. Table setter, center fielder, a lot of speed. Low and outside, 2-1.
A lot of speed, and a young man that hasn't hit that growth spurt yet.
Yeah.
And you look at the guy, you talk about, perfect leadoff. Small strike zone, good plate discipline. Didn't like that call. But, really, in this walk is as good as a hit. Get him on first, let him steal, wreak some havoc out there.
The 2-2. The little guy's got a little pop in the bat, but that one is going to be a fly out to right field, 1 down.
Well, good job by Carson Crawford, the pitcher, and that's tough. You're on the mound. You got a small target. You're leading off the game. This is the championship game. A little pressure on you. No big deal. And I'm gonna just throw it down. Let the guy hit it.
Giovanni Cueto stepping up. Out of the 305, Miami, Florida. That one gets past him. 0-1. The pitch from Crawford. This one also lifted into right field, and the same result, 2 down.
You got Torin O'Haran out in right field getting tested. I'm up to this. I'm not just your average right fielder. This young man probably, whenever he goes back to his regular team, probably starting center fielder.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the advantages here of playing in the All-American games. Everybody's an all-star. You had to try out in order to make this team, and now you've seen a blend of, a bunch of all-stars out there. I would tend to think that most of these kids either hit 3rd or 4th in their lineups. You might see them hitting 15th today because everybody hits.
Sal Stewart stepping in. Also out of that MVP Legends program. But that is a fantastic program down in Miami. The 1-0. Off speed, a little bit high, and quickly he is ahead of the count 2-0. If Stewart does reach, that would bring up the pitcher Ryan Lowe, who's batting cleanup for the Atlantic. And he's quickly ahead in the count 3-0.
Yeah, you mentioned the MVP organization. We've seen them here at World of Sports. I tell you what, they're cool uniforms.
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh, man, they're stylish.
And he gets a 4-pitch walk. So Sal Stewart is aboard. He's the second baseman. That'll bring up the pitcher. How common is it, Mike, to have your pitcher also bat cleanup?
Well, it really depends on your ball club. I've noticed that these teams, they hit everybody. So they try to keep, the kids similar in the lineup. Ryan probably hitting 3rd or 4th on his team. So I would tend to think you're a cleanup guy. You're up exactly where you need to be.
Good job of keeping Sal Stewart near the bag there by Carson Crawford as he chases him back. Another quick throw. Got him! And that's going to end the inning after the great pickoff by Carson Crawford. So 3 up and 3 down. We're back with the top of the 2nd inning after this quick timeout here on ESPN. It's USSSA baseball. Don't go away. The All-American games are back after this.
Big thrills await at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Home to the wildest elevator ride ever, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Board Phantom Elevator, shoot up 13 stories, and then experience a thrilling plummet faster than gravity. Check it out right here at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. When you run Disney, every mile is magic. Marathon and half-marathon races through the Disney theme parks are waiting for you at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida and Disneyland Resort in California. Known for courses lined with Disney entertainment and the best finisher medalers around, Run Disney events are a must-do for veteran runners and newcomers alike. For more information, visit rundisney.com.
Palm trees aplenty here in Central Florida. Welcome back, everybody, to ESPN's coverage of the USSSA All-American Games. It's the 10U championship between Northwest and Atlantic, top of the second inning. By the way, we're very active in social media. We want you to join the conversation with us. Follow us on Twitter, @DisneySports, and if you tweet us, we'll see if we can't get you involved in the broadcast today. We'd love to hear from you. Again, join the conversation on Twitter. Follow us, @DisneySports, and tell us your thoughts about the USSSA All-American Games, especially those of you watching and cheering for your friends and family members today. So the Atlantic heading right back out there to the field. You see Jorge Bello. And that is Ryan Lowe on the mound, squaring off against his counterpart, Carson Crawford. Inside, 1-0.
Yeah, going back to the end of the last inning, Carson Crawford, a nifty little move that he had, and you know, one of the things is you're leading off, you want to let that pitcher get into the stretch before you start getting too excited over at first base. What happened is Carson just ended up just watching, and the runner just kept getting off. He says, well, that's it. I'm just going to go ahead and turn fire, and that was it. So, yeah, heads-up play by Crawford. We saw him on the mound. Now let's see what he can do with the bat.
1-1 from Lowe. Sailing high and out of the zone, 2-1. Mike and I have talked about this previously. Very often at this level, your pitcher will be your best athlete out there. So it's not a huge surprise that both of these pitchers are also batting cleanup. So ahead of the count now is Crawford, 3-1. That means he should get a good pitch here to hit.
Yeah, with the special rule of pitchers only able to throw 4 innings for this tournament, we've got rosters of 15 for the Northwest team and 16 for the Atlantic team, so there's obviously plenty of pitching to go around.
That was a terrific pitch by Ryan Lowe. You saw Crawford was sitting dead red, didn't get it. See if he gets one here. Okay, goes off speed there, right, Mike?
Yeah, one point to make. You know, Mason Hicks ended up catching that ball. Looked like by the time he caught it, it was below the knee. But as an umpire, you call the ball as it goes across home plate. So you know, the ball we saw on the replay, our side shot, where a ball went across just a little over the knee. It's not where the catcher catches it. It's right where it goes over home plate. Yeah.
And he's all right. Gets a little wake-up call from Ryan Lowe, and that's a free pass, hit by pitch, Carson Crawford.
It looked like he took that one right off the bill of the helmet. That was a little scarier than, you know, everybody's just kind of shrugging that off. You know, that's a couple inches from disaster.
Yes, sir. That'll bring up Tyson Rostad. Tyson's first at bat. Hard-hitting third baseman. Runner back is Crawford.
And you can tell, you know, both of these teams, they're very aware of holding runners close. They know how important it is not to give up that easy base.
Crawford on the move, and this could be a double play ball, and it is. A hit and run. Foiled there by the fielder over on the left side, Jorge Bello.
Well, nicely done, and this was as tailor-made as you can ever have a line drive double play. Here he could have taken a little bit more time. Nice job by the first baseman to pick that thing up and corral it. But yeah, you get that runner on the move. If you're the hitter, you're going to take make an effort at it. You got to hit the ball on the ground.
Yes, sir.
As that was one of those things that, as you mature, as you get along in your game, you might have a couple coaches that'll, let's say, a little stronger reminder and that's just speaking from experience of, you know what, get the ball on the ground when the guy's running.
You had a few of those strong reminders, did you?
Not too many, though. I'm a coachable guy.
The 0-2 to Lopez. Lowe and inside. Ryan Lowe will have to try again. So in this inning thus far, Crawford, hit by pitch, walked. Rostad lines into a double play, 2 down, and a 2-2 count coming up to Chris Lopez.
Ryan Lowe has a lot of sick on that ball there, from 46 feet especially. You don't have a whole lot of time for that ball to move.
And a strikeout. Ball will head down to first, and that will end the inning. So the second strikeout of the day for Ryan Lowe. And once again, he closes out a frame in style. No score here at Champion Stadium.
The peak of Expedition Everest can be seen from just about everywhere around Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. It calls the brave to challenge high-altitude hairpin turns and puts you face-to-face with the snarling beast who guards the mountain, the legendary Yeti. The ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex is a cutting-edge multi-sport facility where athletes from over 70 countries compete in more than 60 different sports, all in the halo of the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. Sports lovers can experience collegiate and professional action during the Old Spice Classic, Walt Disney World Pro Soccer Classic, AS Roma FC, and Atlanta Braves Spring Training. For more information, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
Welcome back, everybody. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left yet. Bottom of the second inning coming up as we continue our coverage of the All-American Games. USSSA history. It began as the U.S. Slow Pitch Softball Association back in 1968. It's now United States Specialty Sports Association. Say that 3 times fast. It's grown from a couple thousand softball players to over 3.5 million participants playing 13 primary sports. That is what I call growth. And boy, is it impacting the lives of so many youngsters all over these United States. Bottom second inning, as you take a look there at Carson Crawford. No score. Atlantic coming up with their starting pitcher, Ryan Lowe. You may recall Lowe actually did make it to the plate in the last inning, but his at-bat was cut short after Sal Stewart was picked off at first. In this half of the inning, it's Lowe, Shelton, and Hicks expected for Atlantic. That one low and inside, 2-0.
Let's go, 35. Now, keep them in. Hey, rock you on the field.
Crawford still working to find the zone. Well behind now in the count to his counterpart, 3-0. Mike, you talked about the distance. It's not a long way, but so I would imagine we should expect plenty of fastballs. But even at this age level, you're going to see some kids who can move that baseball.
Well, they work on secondary pitches, introducing them, age 10. And most of those times, what I like to see, fastball, changeup.
Gotcha.
I don't really care to have the kids start throwing breaking balls this young. I know what happens. I know if someone is interested in throwing a curveball, go find somebody that knows how to teach it the right way. A curveball thrown the right way is actually less strain on the arm than a fastball. What happens is the technique that is taught sometimes isn't the proper technique, and that's where you see the kids starting to hurt their elbows. So it's a matter of learning how to do it the right way. If you do that, yeah, I don't have much of a problem with it.
You may have taken note there, Giovanni Cueto is over at first to pinch run for the starting pitcher Ryan Lowe, and there is already activity in the bullpen for Northwest. Cueto on the move, in there safely despite the nice throw. Speed thrills, and he makes his way to second base.
This is a very, very close play. Not a great jump, good speed, but the throw just a little bit short. Ooh, that's pretty close. Looked like the tag was on the arm, but the front foot, as he slid in, was on the base. So, again, the tag was maybe a little bit high. Okay, we have a discussion here. Seems like there's an issue with the runner. The pitcher was up. They get a courtesy runner. But it has to be a certain runner, and I believe the Atlantic coach is trying to get somebody else out there to run.
Yeah, I think you made a good point about Cueto didn't get a very good jump, and I'm wondering if there's someone else he'd like to slip in there, maybe a Romero, but we'll have to see how they want to play.
Actually, I believe that Sal Stewart should have been the runner, but as he made the last out.
Gotcha.
If you're having a regular tournament where you have substitutions, one of those subs would go out there and be the courtesy runner for the pitcher or the catcher. Here we have no substitutes. Everybody hits. So now what you do is you use the last person that made an out.
So what happens here then? They did not use Sal Stewart. Instead, they brought Cueto in, not Stewart. Interesting discussion out there on the diamond. Meanwhile, stepping up now is Gus Shelton, first baseman. His first at bat. He's ahead now in the count 2-0 with that runner at second and Giovanni Cueto. On deck, Mason Hicks. Crawford gives him a look. Had a nice jump, did Cueto. Swinging and making contact, but foul is Shelton.
High fastball by Crawford there to Shelton, and that ball just a tad too high. He had a good swing at it, but he's got to get that down a little bit to smash it.
Well, he got that one down, Mike, and that is going to be a base hit to right field. And how about this? The ball gets away. That's going to bring home the game's first run, and he's safe at second base. So Gus Shelton picks up the RBI. He's safe at second. 1-0 Atlantic in the lead.
Well, initially Cueto had to wait to see if the ball was going to be caught. Shelton shoots us in the right field, and then it just hits the lip of the Major League infield out there and just bounces over the right fielder's glove as he was trying to come in and make the play. So I got to actually... Looking at the third base coach, that's a base hit, but he scores on the error, Kevin. Does not get credit for the RBI because the third base coach was holding up the runner. Technicalities, you know, it just, us baseball guys, we can't help ourselves.
I will so...
Of course, if I hit the ball right there, no, I'd be bad. Yeah, that's my RBI. Yeah. No, where's the error? It was a bad hop.
Come on.
No, I've never called the official score in between innings from the dugout.
Yeah.
Just in case. No. Never.
You sure about that?
Positively.
All right. Slow dribbler to third. Runner holds, then finally comes on over. The play smartly made at first, but in the process, Shelton makes his way over to third base. So Mason grounds out. That'll bring up Sal Alvarez. You can almost hear the coach is now telling Sal Alvarez, keep the ball on the ground. That could drive in the game's second run. High 1-0. So Atlantic creating a little trouble here for Carson Crawford. A walk to low. That brought Cueto up to pinch run. A base hit by Shelton. And Cueto scores on the error. Hicks ground out to third, moving the runner over. One away, and a chance to go up 2-0 for the Atlantic. The 1-1 to Alvarez. Boy, he gets all of that one. Base hit to right field. RBI, no doubt about that one. And Sal Alvarez makes it 2-0 Atlantic.
Yeah, this is Atlantic Ball Club. Really not a whole bunch of size to their lineup, but I tell you, short, compact strokes. They command the strike zone. See a nice, quick little stroke. Ball's down. He doesn't try to pull it. Just goes with it, doesn't fight it. Nice base hit RBI in the right field.
That'll bring in Jorge Bello. But first, a conversation as the Brain Trust comes out to have a chat with Carson Crawford. Make sure he's okay. Maybe talk a little bit about strategy here. Championship contest, sometimes nerves can get to you. It's early in the morning as well for some of these youngsters, Mike, and so a number of factors could be at work here. For the Atlantic, however, on the other side, they have to feel terrific about this inning. They come up with a walk and a pair of base hits. They've already pushed 2 across with 1 out, and there's still a runner aboard. Runner back as Bello waits for the first pitch. By the way, the official score on that previous play, Mike, they did not score it in error. So there you go. So count the RBI for Gus Shelton. Throw to second, a skipper, and the runner is safe. So Sal Alvarez is off to a great start. RBI single, and now a stolen base. His club already leading 2-0, looking for more.
See Alvarez, he's already looking hot third base. He's checking the third base coach out, saying, hey, I'm hot. Let me go to third.
And you know what? Why not? He was there easy at second. Now there's a circumstance, Mike, where you talked about trying to make sure your pitcher is focused on the target. Walk me through that again.
Well, Carson Crawford right there kind of gave a little deep to second base. And, you know, here, you get a runner in score position, concentrate on your pitch.
Chopper fielded, but not cleanly. That means Bello will reach. And wisely, the runner at second holds in Sal Alvarez, so now there are 2 aboard.
Yeah, rule of thumb here is if you're at second base, you make the ball go through on the left-hand side. If it's to the right side, you go ahead and advance. Many times you'll see if that ball's fielded cleanly, once the throw goes over, then you'll see the runner go ahead and take off towards third. But they're wisely played by Sal Alvarez at second.
And that will do it. A very short outing for Carson Crawford for the team from the Northwest. That will bring in Kai Francis to the mound. So Francis will move on in, and he comes in a precarious circumstance for the team from Northwest. We're only in the bottom of the second inning, but in this inning alone, Atlantic has managed to push 2 runs across. There are still 2 runners aboard, including the very speedy Sal Alvarez. Just 1 out, 2-0 Atlantic. A roster peppered with standouts from Miami, and if you know baseball, you know what a hotbed that is, especially at the youth and collegiate levels.
Yeah, there are certain spots around Florida that, you know, really it just jumps out at me. Obviously, Miami's one, the Tampa area,
yeah.
Orlando, Jacksonville, and I tell you, there's some very, very fine teams out of the Panhandle in the Pensacola area.
Really?
And, yeah, I've had the opportunity to cover some Florida high school athletic state champions and championships, and yeah, that's the state of Florida well represented by teams from the Panhandle. Yeah, some very good baseball, and again, it derived from our weather that we enjoy down here. 12 months a year. Every now and then we'll have to put on the overcoats when it gets to 40 degrees, but for the most part, I mean, it's just duck some raindrops and play all year long.
There are my friends up north and not from Colorado. They don't want to hear coats at 40.
Are you kidding me? At my age, that thermometer gets under 60, and I'm trying to find sweaters, hoodies, jackets, you name it.
That one into foul territory, and unfortunately for Hayden Murphy, that's a worst-case scenario right there. He's first pitch swinging, and lifting that, and it is caught. So the problem now is there are now 2 outs, and those 2 runners did not move up in the process.
Number 10, Jackson Penton.
That brings up Jackson Penton. Out of the Pensacola area that Mike was just alluding to. Runner at second is Alvarez. Runner at first is Bello. Nice pitch there by Kai Francis. He's a tall kid, and you can tell that ball comes bearing down on you fairly quickly. Obviously a talented pitcher. And that should do it if this one is caught, and it is. But not before Atlantic comes up with a big inning. 2 runs, 2 left, and a 2-0 lead after 2 innings here at Champion Stadium.
Check out the wildest ride in the wilderness. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom Park has you careening through steep mountain passes and in and out of darkened caves on a runaway train that seems to have a mind of its own. So hold on to your hats as you zip around the winding track right here at the Walt Disney World Resort. ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex at Florida's beautiful Walt Disney World Resort is your amateur basketball destination. Offering multiple tournaments for athletes from Pee Wee to collegiate level, the complex also attracts NCAA coaches from top programs nationwide. To find out how your team can compete here, visit DisneyBasketball.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to ESPN3's coverage of the USSSA All-American Games. It's the 10U Championship. Team Atlantic out in front of the Northwest 2-0 after a 2-run, 2-hit attack in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We're looking forward to the top of the 3rd, and we've already had a pitching change on one side as Kai Francis has come in for the Northwest. He slammed the door on that great inning by the Atlantic. Meanwhile, that young man, Ryan Lowe, will try to keep the Northwest hitters at bay. He already has 2 strikeouts, and he was also helped with some timely defense in that last inning, Mike, with a double play ball.
Yeah, sure is, and it's been very effective. Number 1, throwing strikes. Number 2, going for Ryan as movement on his fastball. Looks like he's got a nice little sink, and there are different ways of doing that. To me, the best way is just throw that 2-seam fastball, both fingers that just hold the seams. Unlike the 4-seamer that stays kind of straight, the 2-seamer designed to sink. Try not to manipulate it. Just let the seams do the work.
You may have noticed there, Mike, that Mason Hicks has now moved over into left field for Team Atlantic. That is Carson Romazinski out of Windsor, California. Out of those North Bay Redbirds. The pitch from Lowe, the 0-1. Out of the zone, 1-1.
I tell you, one of the challenges of this format is making sure that each of these kids plays 2 innings in the field.
Yeah.
We've got Atlantic with 16 kids on their roster, so obviously you've only got 6 innings. You cannot go to sleep if you're the skipper of these 2 teams. Make sure they all get out there.
What really helps to have a great assistant coach who's helping you keep track of these things. That's one of the things people don't talk a lot about, but as a guy who's done some coaching, it's invaluable to have people that are next to you, helping you, and they're watching your back, essentially.
Yeah, in Major League Baseball, it's the bench coach. He's the guy that helps the manager, run the team. He's, basically saying, hey, look, you've only got 1 trip left to the mound. Here you've got somebody warming up, for them. Who do you want ready to pinch hit? You're really the right-hand man. You're trying to think of the things that the manager might not be thinking of.
And make it strikeout number 3 for Ryan Lowe as Ramasinski is seated.
Yeah, here it looks like that fastball, not as much sink, a little run into him. Looked like it tied up Romasinski just a little bit. And again, good velocity, good movement.
That'll bring up J.R. Ritchie for the first time. Now, earlier I was asking you about Carson Crawford, what you noticed here, and as we get a good look now at Ryan Lowe, who has managed to come up with 3 strikeouts, in fact 2 straight strikeouts among Northwest batters. Tell me what it is he's doing out there that's making him successful thus far.
Well, again, to me, if you're going to be a successful pitcher, you got to fill the plate up full of strikes. You cannot allow free passes. Your defense, they're going to make some mistakes, but how you overcome that is pitching ahead in the count, getting the hitter on the defensive. Whenever you throw strike one, all of a sudden, okay, as a hitter, you're thinking, oh no, he gets another one, then I'm thinking strikeout. The most embarrassing thing that you could possibly do as a hitter.
Right.
So, you know, that right there, you know, you put it in their minds by strike one, from there, aggressive in the zone, and that's what we've seen. And of course, as soon as I talk about how much he's in the zone, what does he do?
A 4-pitch walk.
There we go. the announcer's curse works again. Sorry, young man.
That'll bring up Dante Bellistri. Make it 5 consecutive balls now by Ryan Lowe. And he seems to be falling off to the left, and that will induce a conversation. It's like he's not quite finishing the pitch somehow.
Yeah, what's happening is just rushing just a little bit. Timing is so important. Balance is so important. Not being in a hurry. We all know when we're all in a hurry, adults, kids, whatever, those are the tendencies we make mistakes then.
Yes.
If we're taking our time, we're thinking things out, yeah, we get it right. Okay? And no different whenever you're pitching. When you get in a hurry, your body gets out of position, your arm angle changes, and now you don't deliver the right pitch. So it's all about timing, be in a nice balanced position, and then being able to deliver your pitch.
Showing bunt is Bellistri. Throw to second, not in time. Very good jump there by J.R. Ritchie. And he's got the wheels to pull it off, so he's safe at second, and Dante now will be swinging away.
You know, we take a look at this, pretty good jump, but again, 65-foot bases here, and it's awful tough for the catchers to go ahead and get rid of that ball quick enough with the arm strength to make it all the way there.
Coach comes out to make sure the youngster's okay.
Left, come in. Just any of you that have been on a slip and slide and landed a little bit hard, that's what's going on right now with a young Richie. He looks like he, end up maybe having a little case of some whiplash where he went head first, bounced a little bit, and maybe tweaked his neck. Look at him, he's out there, some gyrations, trying to get it ready, and yeah, it looks like he's okay.
He's a tough guy.
There we go.
It is different, though, Mike, when you're talking about sliding on that grass. It's a little different than sliding out there on the dirt like you're used to.
Well, here, 8 o'clock ball game, we still get some dew. It's, a little slippery, so it's actually a little bit nicer for these kids to slide on the grass than sliding on the clay.
Ah. The 1-1 to Dante, and we'll hold up and we'll try it now. 1 away, 1 on. 1-1 pitch from Ryan Lowe, who has a strikeout this inning. Dante shows bunt. Lowe, 2-1.
And you see the second baseman, Sal Stewart. A little encouragement out there, telling Ryan Lowe, hey, go ahead, let him bunt. I think it's just a fake bunt, to tell you the truth. I don't think he has any intention.
Well, there you go. He does throw to first in time. No! Gets away, and that's going to allow a run to cross the plate. 2-1 on the error on the throw to first. So Dante will reach on the throw and end up at second base.
Well, you never assume anything, really, at any age level, but here it looked like this is going to be an easy play. But again, that throw into the runner, first baseman Gus Shelton, couldn't reach far enough across, almost a major collision, but there was a situation where Ryan Lowe had more time than he thought. Yeah, he rushed the throw just a little bit. That's a situation, you know what? Think about it. How long does it take, and that's what I tell kids, how long does it take you to get from home to first base? Well, you know, about 4 seconds. Well, think about it. You get to the throw, or you get to the ball in 1 second. Guess what? In 3 seconds, how fast can this guy go? Don't be in such a hurry.
Here you go, right here.
Now, how would you score that there, Mike? Because as I was looking at that, I was going to give Dante credit for a single and an error on the throw.
Actually, it's a sacrifice bunt.
All right.
E1.
Sacrifice with an E1. And that will allow the run to score to make it 2-1 here in the top of the third. And the danger's not over as Blake Rogers steps up with the runner aboard at second. Base hit to right field, but it's hit hard. Hit so hard, in fact, that you could almost make a play at first. And he does, and that means there are 2 away.
Well, you got to call this just unlucky. You got Blake Rogers who hammers this ball into right field. He's hustling as soon as he hits it. He knows, but up comes Hayden Murphy, the right fielder, comes in, charges, bang, bang at first base, and he rings him up.
Well, I thought he beat the throw, but I'm not the umpire there, so the out is recorded.
And that one, the unusual 9-3 out.
Yeah. I noticed that on my scoreboard. I don't think I've seen that often.
That's the one. I was a left-handed hitter, didn't run well. That was the one I was trying to avoid myself. There's a couple pretty good right fielders. In fact, Glenn Wilson, who I played with the Pirates, but when he was with the Phillies, I knew if I hit a ball to right field, I need to shag down to first base.
Better believe it. Malcolm Hugh trying to keep alive the inning. That throw to first in time, and that will end the frame. But the team from the Northwest does come up with a run. 2-1 is our score. We're looking forward to the bottom of the third inning. Don't go away.
The peak of Expedition Everest can be seen from just about everywhere around Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. It calls the brave to challenge high-altitude hairpin turns and puts you face-to-face with the snarling beast who guards the mountain, the legendary Yeti. Let your rising soccer star play and learn alongside greats of the game at Disney Soccer Academy. This unique camp experience features age and skill-appropriate coaching, along with daily interaction with superstars of the game. To find out how your child can participate, visit DisneySoccerAcademy.com.
Welcome back to Champion Stadium, everybody, in the shadow of the Magic Kingdom. And Animal Kingdom, for that matter, here at the world-famous Walt Disney World Resort. You see the great sign there, Expedition Everest, right here at the Wide World of Sports. Atlantic leading Northwest 2-1, bottom of the third inning. I want to talk to about a Hall of Famer. George Brett stopped by the complex not long ago, and he talked to us about the importance of not just balancing athletics and education, but enjoying the process along the way.
No one ever gave me hitting lessons. I know 12-year-old kids, 9-year-old kids that go down and they get hitting lessons from guys that played in the major leagues. So, I mean, these kids are I think, a lot better players than I was when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hopefully they'll stick with it. Hopefully they won't get burned out. And, you know, the percentage of some of these kids playing in Major League Baseball are probably not good. But some of these kids will make it. But I got a feeling that nowadays, I mean, yeah, I always wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. Did I ever think it was going to happen? No. These kids all want to be Major League Baseball players, and I just hope one thing, that they consider getting an education just as important as striving for their goals to be a Major League Baseball player.
That's always the challenge as a parent, and as a major leaguer yourself there, I'm sure you had the conversation, and have had the conversation, not just with your own children, but with other youngsters in your life, as we watch the very first play here of the inning, and very quickly there is one away as Zach Durlag is erased on the ground there.
Well, one of the things I think what I get out of that is, and what I tell kids is, listen, okay, be good in school. Because if you're looking to be a major leaguer, one of your routes that you're probably going to take is going to college. All college recruiters look at what's on the field and what's off the field. If you don't have the grades, sometimes you're going to get overlooked. Then you're just relying on just sheer talent, and sometimes that's not enough. You got to have both. You got to have both packages. You got to be a good student. You got to be a good player. That gives you options. And for me, you know what? Take care of your schoolwork. I think George mentioned it, but I'm just going to go ahead and just I got to beat that to, into it. That's what it's all about. The percentage of making it to the big leagues is so very small.
Yeah.
I never discourage anybody, but I also will just push to encourage. You know what? Do good in school.
William Prince, quickly 2 down. That'll bring up Gavin Hunter. And so far, so good for Kai Francis. He's come in relief of Carson Crawford. And since coming on board, we've seen a pop-up, and a pair of groundouts. So he's erased all 4 batters he has faced. This is Gavin Hunter's first trip to the plate. If Hunter were to reach, the man on deck, Bryce Meacham, would be next up. Nice little hook on that one. Nice pitch indeed by Kai Francis. I was glad to hear you mention the fact that education is so important, because back in the old days, a lot of these kids would come right out of high school and they'd end up in the minors, could play for many, many years, never get a sniff at the bigs, and then what do you have? Now I'm 29, I'm 30, I love the sport, never got the big chance or didn't have the talent to make it to the bigs. What becomes of my life? So you need to make sure you get that education along the way. And another strikeout recorded by the Northwest pitchers. This time, that's the first by Kai Francis. 2-1, end of 3, Atlantic leading.
Ride like a rock star at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Buckle up and hit 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds on Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. You will take off in a convertible stretch limo through the streets of LA, through loops, corkscrews, and more to get you to the concert on time. This exciting ride in the dark will leave you cheering for an encore. Go the distance with Disney and the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex in Florida by training or competing in one of the many track and field events hosted here annually. From Disney Track and Field Spring Training to the Walt Disney World Cross Country Classic to Disney Track and Field Showcase. Get ready for your season or get noticed by any of the numerous college recruiters in attendance. Check out DisneyTrackandField.com for more information.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Cork and Michael Vallier with you. This is ESPN's coverage of the USSSA All-American Games. We have a pitching change for Team Atlantic. That is Jorge Bello. He is on the mound for the first time. By the way, we want you to stay interactive with us and join the conversation with us and follow us on Twitter. In fact, a tweet here from Kevin Welch says a huge thank you to the folks here at Disney Sports for hosting the USSSA Baseball All-American Games, a first-class experience. Hashtag textbook. Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate that. We would love to hear from you. So join the conversation on Twitter. Follow us at Disney Sports. Speaking of Twitter, you've got a Twitter handle there, Mike LaValliere.
At Spanky Catches. And last time I looked, I've got over 1,000 followers. Don't ask me how that happened.
Wow.
But yeah, I went from, old guy that's got nothing. I got my Facebook page going on, okay? I got at Spanky Catches on Twitter. I'm turning into a multimedia giant in my own right. I might have just overstated that just a tad.
Just a bit, but it's great. I love the fact that you're in there. You're doing it.
It's kind of fun, and I've ended up running into some friends over social media, and stay in touch, with it a little bit. So I find it pretty amusing. Don't get too serious with it. I don't have anything hooked up to my phone where it's going off all the time. But yeah, it's great, and I've had tweets from young players that we've covered here at Wild World of Sports, and how much they've enjoyed it, and they like our broadcast. They get a chance. The games are archived, so they go home and watch afterwards, and it's it's a fun deal for all of us involved.
It is indeed, my friend. Hammering. Shots are right. Will he beat the throw? Answer is yes. Good backup there by the catcher. So Connor Hamry is aboard with a single. Good job by the catcher there, backing him up.
Yeah, this is where like I say, he did not buy a ticket and just watch. Look at him, absolutely perfect position. He's right behind. He's anticipating. If you're a good catcher, you anticipate everything's in front of you. You can see it all. Don't just sit there.
That'll bring up O'Haron. As Bello quickly chases back, hammering. And we got a little work going on out there in the outfield. A little warm-up action by some of the Northwest, Atlantic players. Throw to second, big throw, runner, caught at second base.
Look at that, Sal Stewart right there. That young man's got a hose. We've seen him at second base, looking good there. Here comes up throw, and look at this, right on the money. That's just too good right there by Sal Stewart, the catcher for Atlantic.
One heck of a gun. And the runner is erased at second base after the single. So O'Haron still standing in. 1-1 count.
Hats off to the second half of that. I'd have to recognize as a catcher the guy that caught and made the tag, Giovanni Cueto, playing second base, right there catching it, making the good tag. Jorge Bello getting the ball to the catcher. It's a teamwork thing. When you see stolen bases, everybody's going, "Oh, they stole off the catcher, stole it." Well, I'm the catcher's advocate here. Okay, it's a team thing. Okay, it's not just stealing off the catcher,
right.
and same thing. It's a team thing when you do throw somebody out. Everybody did good.
And speaking of doing good, how about that strikeout there by Jorge Bello? O'Haron down on K's. And that means Ramirez will come up. Down on strikes, so another strikeout. That is the fourth Northwest player to go down in this contest by way of strikeout. First at bat for Michael Ramirez. Nobody aboard, 2 away, top of the fourth in a 2-1 contest, strike one. Bello on in relief of Ryan Lowe. Pretty solid outing. Surrendering just the 1 run. And it's an 0-2 count as once again, Bello is working ahead.
Yeah, I tell you, I can't figure out exactly who it is, but Bello, he looks like a little big leaguer out there. Man, great motion. Oh, he wanted that one. But yeah, and I tell you what I see, everything's under control.
See if he can ring him up here. Reaches way back there, tries to go with the hard heat, and it's just a bit hot. Try it again. 2-2 count, 2 away in a 2-1 contest. If Ramirez would reach, that would bring up Kang. Got him! Runner out, inning over. 2 strikeouts in the frame for Jorge Bello. And a 2-1 lead for Atlantic as they come up to bat in the bottom of the fourth.
The peak of Expedition Everest can be seen from just about everywhere around Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. It calls the brave to challenge high-altitude hairpin turns and puts you face-to-face with the snarling beast who guards the mountain, the legendary Yeti. The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex is one of the most exciting youth baseball complexes in America, where players of all ages compete against both national and international rivals. Athletes can hone their skills year-round through open registration tournaments and spring training programs for high school and college teams on major league quality fields while creating memories that last a lifetime. To find out how your team can play here, visit DisneyBaseball.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Champion Stadium. USSSA All-American Game action that's in youth title contest between the Atlantic region and the Northwest region 2-1. Bottom of the fourth inning coming up. That is J.R. Ritchie. Bainbridge Island, Washington, plays for the Mavericks out there.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth, 26, Bryce Meacham.
Ritchie now on the mound for Northwest. So he comes in relief. Very tight ball game here. Bryce Meacham out of North Carolina. Thanks for those Huntersville Hornets. Nice way to get started there. Nice strike by J.R. Ritchie. And another beautiful pitch.
Oh, look at J.R. Ritchie. Hey, they're dropping a little deuce on him. Curveball looked like a nice bite to it.
That one inside. Meacham not by. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's where sometimes, as a pitcher, you get a little bit too excited. You throw a good heater, strike 1. Great curveball, strike 2. Then you try to throw that third one, even better. It doesn't have to be. Just throw the same one.
Apparently he was listening to you as he comes up with that 4-pitch strikeout. So Meacham is down on swing.
You know, we take a look, and after seeing a couple of curveballs, now as a hitter, you're thinking, oh, man, here comes another off-speed pitch, and there's a fastball, and that is absolutely right by Bryce Meacham. He was looking for the local, and he got the express. Missed that train.
I like that. That brings up Gilberto Torres Reyes. Plays for the Phenoms over in Miami. Another nice pitch by Ritchie. Starting to see a theme here. He's obviously got great control, excellent command thus far. The 0-2. And a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for J.R. Ritchie.
Wow, J.R. Ritchie, this young man looks like he's got a very good idea of that off-speed pitch. He's throwing that curveball, and again, looks like he's throwing it the right way. It's got nice rotation. Obviously throwing it for strikes and extremely effective.
Robert Masha is trying to make contact here and trying to avoid being the 3rd strikeout victim of the inning. And he's behind 0-2 in the count.
Yeah, right now I'm just going, wow.
And a strikeout! J.R. Ritchie retires the side on Ks. 2-1 after 4, Atlantic leads.
Check out the wildest ride in the wilderness. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom Park has you careening through steep mountain passes and in and out of darkened caves on a runaway train that seems to have a mind of its own. So hold on to your hats as you zip around the winding track right here at the Walt Disney World Resort. When you run Disney, every mile is magic. Marathon and half marathon races through Disney theme parks are waiting for you at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida and Disneyland Resort in California, along with the best finisher medals around. For more information, visit rundisney.com.
If only you folks knew what it's like to work with Mike LaValliere. You are hilarious. Atlantic leading 2-1, top of the 5th inning here, the USSSA All-American Games. Champion Stadium here in the 10U title contest. Let's look inside the numbers. Major League Baseball pitching leaders. We like to talk about strikeouts. What was all this talk about? Trades and whatnot.
Well, you see right there, Jorge Bello on the mound. And I look at, it reminds me of King Felix Hernandez, something that these Northwest kids should know about out there in Seattle as the head of the staff, the ace in Seattle, the Mariners, King Felix. But you see, David Price, the new pitcher for the Tigers. I'm sure the Tampa Bay area is in mourning, losing a fine talent like David Price. But there's, I tell you, you look at some of the kids, they like to emulate their heroes.
Yes.
Which, you know what, sometimes it's a good thing. When you realize that the grown men out there that are doing these things are a little bit bigger and stronger, they're capable of doing some things that you're not quite ready for. So, there's good and bad with all of it.
And again, well played behind the plate. You see Sal Alvarez making the play on the pop-up by Ryan Kang.
Yeah, take a look here, and a little square around. Ball doesn't get down. Catcher finds it. Doesn't have time to get the mask off. It doesn't make any difference. He's ready.
Alvarez makes the catch. One down, top of the order, Kai Francis. That one is a one pitch out, 2 away. So Francis pitched a heck of a contest, but he's over at the plate with a pop-up and now a ground out. That brings up Julius Martinez. He grounded out to left field his first time up. Should make that third base. Grounded to third his first time up.
Bello, just like Richie the inning before, just pouring strikes in. Love to see that.
Make it 0-2. No. Maybe a bit high.
I don't know. Home plate umpire has gotten in that wheeling feeling of the punch outs. Maybe just a touch high. Pretty good looking pitch.
That's why I don't make the calls. I do this at home too. I'm guilty of it, literally. I know our camera's just slightly off, but I find myself calling the action from home all the time and yelling at the TV, but that's my problem. The 2-1 pitch from Bello.
Here you go.
That one is smoked down the right field line, all the way to the fence. Long way. He's almost to third, and he's in there standing up. How about the little hit by Julius Martinez, the little guy with wheels, all the way around to third base.
That ball just hammered to right field. Ball on the outside corner. AC goes with this nice aggressive swing. I love it whenever they hit the ball as the opposite field and with aggression. They just don't serve it over there. The right fielder Hayden Murphy getting that ball in as soon as he can, but that's a triple all the way. And a fired up Martinez.
Now let me ask you, this will sound crazy, but did you give any thought to sending him all the way? Well, you may not have to, because he's going to trot home. How about that? Doherty with the base hit. And he's on his way to third. The throw. Not in time. Back-to-back triples and a 2-2 contest. Ryan Doherty driving in Julius Martinez, and the Northwest back in it here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, you see this right here. They're playing the line game. This one down the left field line, and you look at Julius, he's all fired up. He's scoring nice and easy. And this ball again, right down the left field line. Absolutely nothing Atlanta can do about it. Ryan Lowe getting the ball in, hitting the cutoff man. Close play in a third base, but yeah, Doherty slide in easily with a triple. Back-to-back triples. That's something you don't see very often.
Got that right. So Martinez and Doherty testing the lines on young George Bello. That means it's time for a pitching change for the Atlantic, and I believe that's Sal Stewart.
Now pitching 27.
So Sal Stewart, after back-to-back triples, comes in to throw for the Atlantic. Runner at third with 2 away. Oh, it's always that 2-out danger that sometimes sneak up on you.
Yeah, Kevin, that's what championships are made of. 12 base hits.
Yep.
You see it all the time, over the course of a ball game, and it may be a 2-out knock in the second inning that drives in a run. It's pretty devastating on the pitcher. He's thinking, one more good pitch, and I'm back in the dugout, relax and let my offense score me some runs. And then all of a sudden, you get bang bang, lightning hits twice, triple, tie ball game. It's like, what hit me?
Crawford looks at high pitch, ball 1. He was hit by a pitch at first time up. If Crawford reaches, Rolstad would be up next. He's on deck. Base hit here gives his team the lead. Good pitch, but low, 2-0.
A little flinch by our home plate umpire, and I'm going to have to call that a half a strike.
Good look at the youngsters there from the Northwest region. Including the states of Washington, Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. The 2-0. That one's right over for a strike. Team Atlantic representing the states of Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina. Working sort of the same pitch time and time again, and just missing low once again is Sal Stewart. The 3-1 now to Carson Crawford. Sitting dead red. Base hit here gives his team the lead. The pitch. It's over for a strike. Now with a full count and 2 outs, the runner will be on the move. And it's a walk. See the runner dive back over there. Just in case a throw came his way. So, good plate discipline again by Carson Crawford. Second time he is induced to walk. Tyson Rolstad comes up now. He hit into a double play, but keep this in mind, Mike. He absolutely hit the ball on the button when he did.
He sure did, and here you see the Atlanta group. They're all getting together. No coach, no nothing. This is going to like, hey guys, let's get it together here. Let's find out what we're going to do on this first and third situation. Are we going to throw the ball through, try to get the out, or are we going to hold on to it? These are situations, again, your regular team, yeah, you get signs for it. Here, a group of all-stars, hey, we'll all get together. Let's get all on the same page. Great baseball.
Take the throw to second. Look the runner back to third. Crawford, though, with a healthy jump, is in safely. So now the runners are at second and third, which adds to the drama here. A base hit by Rolstad. Could play 2. Good job there by Sal Alvarez. The 1-0 from Stewart. That's the pitch he's been looking for. He finally gets it, 1-1.
Yeah, just making a little bit of an adjustment, but again, fastball up. And one of my little pet peeves, all my hitters, I want you to see the ball out of the pitcher's hand, watch it hit the bat. That time, Tyson just pulled his head off just a little bit.
He didn't pull his head off that time. He gets a hold of one. That'll score not one, but two, and the team from the Northwest with a 2-out base hit takes a 4-2 lead. Well done by Tyson Rolstad.
Now, Tyson certainly kept his eyes on this one. Here you watch right there in contact. I'd love to see him finish the swing a little bit better, but I tell you, it's all about results. Big 2-out base hit, 2 RBIs, and we got the Northwest team just having it going on good for them.
So keep in mind all this damage coming with 2 outs. Kang popped up to the catcher. Francis ground out to the pitcher. Actually over to first base. So you had a pop-up and a ground out. Then since that ground out to give Northwest 2 outs, you've seen a triple by Martinez, a triple by Doherty, a walk by Crawford, and now a 2-run single by Rostad. Chris Lopez up, 1-1. Chris struck out his first time up. If he reaches, Ramasinski would be up next. He's on deck. So once again, 1 strike away to end the misery for Team Atlantic. The pitch from Stewart. Little high.
Tell Salvador Alvarez back there, he certainly tried to sell that, pull that ball down, and probably just a little bit too much.
2-2 pitch, 2 away. Stewart to Lopez. Got him! Second time Lopez has struck out. And the action continues here at Champion Stadium. Don't forget, we're still here at 10:30. Northwest, make that Midwest taking on the Great Lakes. And we have our third contest at 1 o'clock. Timeout. Our coverage continues after this break.
The peak of Expedition Everest can be seen from just about everywhere around Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park. It calls the brave to challenge high-altitude hairpin turns and puts you face-to-face with the snarling beast who guards the mountain, the legendary Yeti. The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex is the ideal place for amateur softball, hosting annual events like Disney Softball Spring Training on top of working with organizations like USSSA and Diamond 9 Events to develop competitive events for players of all ages and skill levels. For more information, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
Welcome back to Champion Stadium, everybody. ESPN's coverage of the USSSA All-American Games continues with the 10U Championship. Northwest, 4 runs, 4 hits, out in front of Team Atlantic. 2 runs, 2 hits in this one, and it gets tough because pretty good pitcher out there right now on the mound for Team Northwest.
Well, I tell you one thing, J.R. Ritchie had it going on. He had good fastball he was going to have, but there you see right there, the hook, Uncle Charlie. I tell you, and this right here, I bring myself back to whenever I was a kid, the first curveball I saw. I still have headaches and nightmares about it. But J.R. Ritchie, you know, throwing strike 1, getting ahead, then dropping that curveball, and pitching with 2 strikes. He was just absolutely devastating. By the way, the first time I saw curveball, 12 years old. Now we're playing in the regional game, and I struck out 3 times.
No strikeout here for Adrian Romero, but it is a ground out. You're scoring. That's a ground out to 5-3. 1 away. That'll bring up Giovanni Cueto. Ritchie, 3 strikeouts, 11 pitches thrown. Those 3 strikeouts all in one inning in the bottom of the fourth. And that's in there for a strike to Cueto.
You're talking about some efficiency. Hey, 11 pitches and
Pretty good.
3 punch-outs. Hey, you're not throwing any balls.
And again, he's quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 to Cueto, who flew out to right field his first time up.
And going back to, you know, that's that state tournament in New Hampshire as a kid, striking out 3 times, and was convinced I would never ever get a hit the rest of my life. That's how devastating it was. You know, this is the first time I saw a curveball. I was like, well, that's not fair. They can't do that. Eventually, you learn to. So, all hitters up there, keep your heads.
Boy, I gotta say, right now, though, Mike, that J.R. Ritchie looks like he's in the heads of the players that he is facing. That is his 4th strikeout. Wow.
Well, see, what ends up happening, if you're pitching 2-0 in the count, you can't do what he's doing. He's throwing 0-2, so now he's able to expand the strike zone. The hitters are up there. They're trying to guess. They're not, you know, they're worried about trying to hit that curveball. Guess what? You know, don't look for something you can't hit.
That's right.
You know, pick out that piece of cheese, that fastball, and do not miss it. That's how you beat a curveball guy. You beat on his fastball because he's not going to keep throwing hooks. So hey, I see a kid that's got a good hook. Hey guys, don't miss the fastball.
That'll bring up Sal Stewart. He walked on 4 pitches his first time up. He's ahead in the count here, 2-0. And you see the bailing out that curveball.
We'll call that a jelly legger.
Yeah.
You know, that ball starts at you, and as a hitter, you know, 2-0, the ball starts at you. You're thinking, oh man, this is coming right for my ear. Right from my ear flap.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden your knees get a little weak, and then they buckle. Okay, and then before you know it, the ball's in the catcher's glove, the umpire's saying strike, and you're going, you know what, soccer's not a bad sport. that's what the curveball's done. It's sent kids to a lot of other sports. I'm sure there's some dads at home going, yeah, I was a good hitter until they start spinning that thing up there.
Oh, and there's another one. And you know, once you start thinking it's coming, and you're right, that fastball comes in like a laser, and you're late on the swing. 0-2 now. I'll make that 2-2 is the count. To Stewart. That time, it bails out, but it does sail inside just a bit much. 3-2.
And just, again, it's hard for you not to get excited if you're on the mound. You're punching everybody out. I mean, they're just, you know, strikeouts galore, and just trying a little bit too hard on the last 2 pitches.
And for the second time in the contest, Sal Stewart has come up with a walk. That'll bring up Ryan Lowe, who also walked his first time up. So Lowe was part of that big inning early in the contest for Team Atlantic. You may remember it went walk, walk, single, ground out, single, single, as they took a 2-0 lead. Since then, you've seen Team Northwest come roaring back. That last frame, a big one for them. After 2 outs, triple, triple, walk, single, to take a 4-2 lead.
Take a look at the coach out there, pulling the strings, pushing the buttons, circling the dials. He's got it all going on. And courtesy runner for the pitcher.
Go back away from it, watch it.
You just heard someone say, don't back away from it, watch it. We'll see if Ryan Lowe can hang in there when he sees that curveball come in. That one high, 1-0.
Oh yes, there's all kinds of advice that you get on hitting that curveball, and it's just something. It's a devastating pitch when thrown properly, and whenever you haven't seen it before, it just makes it that much tougher.
That one gets away, and the runner is on the move, taking a wide turn at second, and then caught off base. This could end it, and it does in the inning. Out at third. So the pinch runner tried to be just a little bit aggressive, and Cueto gets caught. So it's still 4-2 as Team Northwest hangs on to the lead.
Ride like a rock star at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Buckle up and hit 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds on Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. You will take off in a convertible stretch limo through the streets of LA, through loops, corkscrews, and more to get you to the concert on time. This exciting ride in the dark will leave you cheering for an encore. The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex on the Walt Disney World campus in Florida holds a number of the nation's top cheer and dance competitions every year, including varsity, whose national cheer and dance competitions hosts up to 300 teams annually. Get your squad the recognition and title it deserves. Visit ESPNWWOS.com today for more information.
Welcome back, everybody, to Champion Stadium. Northwest region leading the Atlantic region 4-2. Top of the 6th inning here in the USSSA All-American Games 10U Championship. Trivia time. USSSA alumni. 33 players drafted in the first round of the 2013 Major League Baseball Draft. Our question, how many were USSSA alumni? Is the answer A, 15, B, 10, C, 29, or D, 21? I want you to think about it, Mike. I don't want you to answer yet. I'm talking about USSSA alumni. They had to be a first-round draftee in the 2013 MLB Draft. We'll answer that question in just a few. As Mike puts on his thinking cap. Top of the 6th inning here. Northwest trying to protect a 2-run lead and, in fact, hopefully add to it as they come to the plate. Carson Ramasinski stepping up. Struck out his first time up. Ramasinski, Ritchie, and Bellistri expected to bat this inning for Team Northwest. That one in foul territory. Giving chase is the first baseman, and unable to get to it is Bryce Meacham. We'll do it again. 0-2.
Yeah, tough play for a first baseman. That ball directly over their heads. We've got a little bit of sunshine getting on us here at Champion Stadium, and he's beating that first baseman's glove, but that's a tough play, young man.
Good effort over there by Bryce Meacham. Ooh. South Stewart wanted that one. And that seems to have been the problem the last inning, too. Nibbling a lot on the outside. Maybe could be a sight adjustment, could be a finish adjustment. We'll see if he can correct it here with the 1-2. And this time he does, and he comes up with a key strikeout. So Ramasinski is K'd for the second time of the contest. That'll bring up J.R. Ritchie, who walked on 4 pitches his first time up.
That's one of the problems that happened last inning with the Atlantic pitching staff. They were, one pitch away a couple of times from getting out of that inning with giving up no runs. They couldn't finish off the Northwest hitters. You look at both sides of that. Nice job by Northwest. Atlantic just not quite enough.
4-3 on the putout as Ritchie is erased. 2 down. Dante Bellistri coming up.
Number 11, Dante Bellistri.
They reached on a sacrifice and moved up after an error on the pitcher. Blake Rogers on deck. So if the out is recorded here, that would bring up Lowe, Shelton, and Hicks. That one in there for a strike. Right up the middle for a base hit. So Dante is back on the base paths once again. Second time of the contest, he's made it aboard. That brings up Blake Rogers.
Well, Northwest scored 3 with 2 outs in the last inning. So you'll see if obviously they're looking at 2-run lead. No lead's comfortable. No lead at all is comfortable at this age group, and it's a momentum thing right now. Northwest wants to keep that momentum.
Last time up, Blake Rogers grounded out to the right fielder. I said that correctly. He absolutely scalded the ball, but the right fielder came right up around the dirt there and threw him out at first in sort of a bang-bang play. So we know Rogers can certainly hit. Got nice size too there, Mike. You make a pitch in the wrong area, and he could knock it over the fence. Or right down the right field line, which he does again. This time, no throw out by the right fielder. Instead, it's a base hit by Blake Rogers. And on the throwing around, he makes his way to second base. So the base hit will bring the runner to third.
Yeah, see Blake this time a little better placement, not right at the right field. This one more down the line, and easily going to third base was Ballistri, and thinking about maybe even coming home, but nice cut off and relay. Ball went home, but at that point it was easy. Rogers just scooting into second base uncontested.
Malcolm Koo stepping up. Suffered a broken hand yesterday. Tough kid. Ground out his first time up to short. Nice pitch right there. 0-2 ahead of the count is Sal Stewart. Again, it's 2-out trouble. I probably would have sent the runner after that base hit, just because I'd like to make them make the play at the plate. Instead, they're now one pitch away from getting out of the jam. But it's easy to make that call here. If I'm down there in the field.
Hey, Kevin, I've been in that third base coach's box.
I'm all
oh, boy.
And a strikeout recorded by Sal Stewart to end the threat. All right, so we're going to see what Team Atlantic can do. Their last at-bat coming up. They need at least 2.
Check out the wildest ride in the wilderness. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom Park has you careening through steep mountain passes and in and out of darkened caves on a runaway train that seems to have a mind of its own. So hold on to your hats as you zip around the winding track right here at the Walt Disney World Resort. ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex at Florida's beautiful Walt Disney World Resort is your amateur basketball destination. Offering multiple tournaments for athletes from Pee Wee to collegiate level, the complex also attracts NCAA coaches from top programs nationwide. To find out how your team can compete here, visit DisneyBasketball.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Palm trees swaying just a bit here at Champion Stadium. 4-2, bottom of the 6th inning. Last at bat for Team Atlantic. They need 2 to tie, 3 to win. We'll see if they can get the job done here in the 10U Championship. Trivia time. USSSA alumni. 33 players drafted in the first round of the 2013 MLB draft. How many were USSSA alumni? Is the answer A, 15, B, 10, C, 29, or D, 21? Mike, what do you think?
Well, I tell you one thing, USSSA is, I tell you, it's a far-reaching organization. They touch a lot of kids. I'm going to go with the highest number. I'm going with C, and that's a lot of kids, but I tell you, they reach a lot of kids.
Well, every now and again, even Mike LaValliere gets one right. You are correct, my friend. 29 of the 33 players taken in the first round of the 2013 Major League Baseball draft for USSSA alumni, and who knows, we may be looking at a future major leaguer right here in J.R. Ritchie.
I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I don't think it's a very big limb. In the 2 days that we're seeing here, ages 9 through 14, I'm going to say that there's going to be a big leaguer out of, one of these teams. There may even be a couple kids. I mean, you look at some of these kids, and they already have the right actions. If they get, bigger, stronger, stay healthy, you know, and continue to advance their skills, and there's no telling. And, you know, USSSA gives them the platform. Here's a kid that's, you know what, I've been on a big league field before. You know, hey, whenever I was 10, I came to Disney. Okay, I went to Wild World of Sports. Man, it was the greatest tournament ever. I was on the World Wide Web. Kevin Cork and Spanky were talking about me. I mean, I got it going on. This is what a tournament. Hopefully they remember that whenever they make it to the big leagues.
You are a character. Lowe trying to beat out the throw and can't quite get there. 4-3 on the put out, one down.
Now the Northwest supporters, well, they came a long way for this tournament, and I tell you what, they've been outstanding so far. They need 2 more outs to have a perfect tournament. Obviously, this is the closest game that they've played thus far.
And actually had to rally in this one. You may remember, if you've been with us, they were actually trailing 2-0 in the early stages of this contest. That'll bring up Gus Shelton. He singled his first time up. On deck is Mason Hicks, who ground out to third his last time up. You see a little smile there from J.R. Ritchie.
Coach went out there. I think he was just going to see what was going on with J.R. He you know, mentioned that he was taking a big, deep breath. Just wanted to make sure he was okay.
Ritchie with 4 strikeouts to his credit.
See that? He's smiling, he's laughing. I tell you one thing, you know what? Parents, encourage these, you know, these actions for your kids. It's a sad thing whenever I see a kid go out on the baseball field and not laugh. You know what? Kids are kids. You know, they're out there to have fun. I don't care what sport it is. If you're not laughing on the field, there's something going wrong.
Well put, my friend. That's Gus Shelton, the 0-1. That could be trouble. How about the left jam over there on the shortstop? What a heck of a play as Team Northwest and Julius Martinez come up with another out.
Well, Martinez was the fire on the offense with the triple here. You take a look at this. I got to think this has got a chance of being a web gem. Martinez going far. This is a heck of a tough play. He ends up leaving his feet, getting dirty, losing the sunglasses. He's got all kinds of things happening. But you know what? He records the out. And that kid right there, that's a fired up young man. Yeah, give it to us.
So Julius Martinez, who lit the fire under the Northwest offense with a triple, helping them take a 4-2 lead, comes up with a web gem. Second out here, the bottom of the 6th inning. Last opportunity now. Mason Hicks will try to keep alive Team Atlanta. Ground out to third his first time up. And that could do it. 4-3 on the put out, and it's a championship for Team Northwest. J.R. Ritchie, 4 strikeouts. He doesn't give up a single hit in relief. And Team Northwest rallies for a 4-2 victory.
Man, I tell you, that team right there, very deserving champions. They rolled right through the pool play into this championship game. They were tested. The Atlantic team, they got off to a good start. They were ahead, but this Northwest team eventually, too good at bats, too good at pitching. This team right here, very deserving champions.
For the entire crew at the ESPN Wide World of Sports, and in particular my partner Mike LaValliere, I'm Kevin Cork. This has been ESPN's presentation of USSSA All-American Game Action. Team Northwest 4-2, your winners. We'll see you again next time.